Good evening. Welcome to the new party. I'm Nora Christine.
I'm about to give a really unpopular opinion, and I'm sure it's going to be especially unpopular amongst women.
I'm Gray Mars. Break a record by being with 100 men in one day. And right after she was done, she recorded a documentary.
I'm a vegan weed. Call yourself fresh and wear the same weak ass turtleneck on every show. Goddamn. Then we got goddamn the Sudanese Sambo. Bruh, man.
And I'm Enzo. Bringing up in my lives is they're like, oh well, he's violating the Constitution by having a meme coin and him making money off it in office and everything like that. I was like, if that was the case, like there would be lawsuits up the ass and impeachment in court.
I'm skeptic. Like I always say, don't let anybody trample on your constitutional rights.
I'm Mia. That's not a correct power dynamic in my mind. Typically, the people that are trying to be removed are not in control. That's why they're easily being removed.
The government, states, they start putting these RICO acts on Diddy, all of these guys, and try to put it on these ongoing criminal organizations. I ain't never seen the government put a RICO act on the KKK.
Switch happened. Come on, man. You gotta acknowledge this. This is the problem that I have with elders like you, because you fail to acknowledge that this stuff has happened.
If we sit there and be old school, we gonna miss the boat. You know, a lot of this kids 19 years old buying houses with Bitcoin, buying Maserati.
Wow.
I think when it comes to the woman, if a man takes charge and he shows that he's logical,
same people. That's number two. That's all theater. This is WWF.
Disclaimer. The views and opinions expressed on this panel show are those of the individual speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of this channel, its affiliates, sponsors, or production team. This content is intended for informational and entertainment purposes only. Viewer discretion is advised. We encourage respectful dialogue and critical thinking around the topics discussed.
Party. Why I like the new party? Number one, it's a group of people that's on a panel. We all have differences, but we all basically still come together at the end of the day. The new party for me is about unity. The new party for me is about educating people to the truth, letting people know what's been going on in our country. With that being said, shout out to the new party, man. We're gonna keep it going with y'all.
Welcome to the new party. I'm Nora Christine.
I'm Gray Mars.
Andrew Williams.
I'm Samson Crouppen.
I'm the Mexican Velma.
And today we have some awesome guests joining us. We have Secret Service Sam, and we have that Mexican Velma. Sam, let everybody know where they can find you at.
Yeah, all of my socials are at Secret Service Sam. I got that Secret Service for you, so hit me up, you know.
And Velma, let everybody know where they can find you.
Like how you see it, that Mexican Velma. I'm on TikTok most of the time, so. And my social is the same thing. That Mexican Velma.
Yeah. And today we're going to have a nice mixture, balanced show for you. We're going to have some politics, some entertainment, and lots of laughs. Secret Service Sam is a comedian, so I can't wait to hear his funny takes on things. But also looking forward to his expertise, as he did attend the Diddy trial the entire time. So shout out to Sam for doing that. I went for a week. I don't know how you did it, but God bless you with that.
And my wife is I'm still trying to get her to forgive me for it, you know.
I bet. And I'm sure your sleep is thrown off from the things you saw. So during our time of having Sam here, we're definitely going to be asking him questions on that because
Sure.
Sam had all the tea. Sam,
Yes.
before we get into it, I went for the week. Can we just call out how the media did not cover that correctly?
How? Which one you said?
The
What? The whole
media,
trial?
the whole trial. There was
Yeah.
stuff
Yeah.
that was not shown.
No, I mean that was the most interesting part about it is how the independent journalists turned out to be some of the most honest, some of the most deceptive, but it was like, and for me as a stand-up comedian, you know, I really realized like we operate in the truth on stage. You know what I mean? Comedians, we pride ourselves on not stealing jokes and not lying. Because the truth is what's most funniest in life. And so that's what I learned throughout that trial is everybody's like, oh, you know, Sam, how did you end up kind of being on the right side of it? And it was just because I was observing what I was seeing and relaying it to the people just in a funnier and more entertaining way. But yeah, the legacy media, none of them got what we got. And you know why?
And they didn't
Because
like us
they're
either. I
all
felt
paid.
that tension.
Yeah,
There was
they're all
tension.
paid. You know what I mean? Like I asked this one dude on ABC, Brian, I forget his last name, but he was like, I made a joke. And after I made this joke, I forget what it was, but ABC was like, we can't do that. You know, so like I would be fired off any of those networks. The only way I was able to do what I was able to do is because I'm not making any money. I'm completely independent, you know?
Exactly.
And that's the difference now between the media. If you're being paid, we can't really, it's hard to believe everything you're saying.
No, that's true. So guys, we're going to get into the first story of the day. This is on Sam's neck of the woods. It's a very disturbing case that I don't think many of us know about, but there was a missing baby and there's a sad conclusion. We'll give reactions to it. So this is about baby hero. What happened to him? There's lots of questions on it. Sam, how are they talking about this on the media there? Because many people don't know about this story.
Well, it's a very interesting story. Basically, I think it was August 15th. It's Jake and Rebecca Haro are the parents. Rebecca was at a Big Five parking lot in Yucaipa, that's in Riverside County, California. And she said that she was attacked. She had a black eye in the press interviews, and that when she came to, her baby was gone. She was changing her baby's diaper in the Big Five parking lot. She got attacked. And then their story it kind of started to fall apart a little bit. She was on the news like, please, God, bring my baby back, please, you know, and all this. And the husband was saying he was a great baby. You know, he was talking about the baby in past tense, and that's what kind of made people a little suspicious. And then they had a search party on I think it was the 60 freeway, and they said he was there, but he was little to no help. And I didn't know this, I found out, but Jay Caro had a prior I guess conviction of child abuse, and he got probation instead of prison time. And so that's where the DA was saying, man, if the judge had sentenced him correctly, baby Emmanuel would be here. And what they believe is that baby Emmanuel was actually unalived on
the night.
I think like either between like August 5th through around the 15th is what they think that timeline is.
Right.
But it's terrible. So
yeah, I'm going to play the clip here. They give details on it, and we can give reactions because many of us on the East Coast, like I said, I don't think, Gray, you've never heard of this because I was telling you about it earlier.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm going to play it.
Of crime. Okay, Justin, so much to cover. First of all, the couple in court, describe the demeanor. What was the vibe in there, especially between them?
Yeah, well, as you know, like you said earlier, they pushed back the court hearing, so it was very, very brief today. We only had about 5 minutes, and, you know, for the most part, they were both very quiet. You couldn't really get too much of a read on them, but, I mean, it was pretty quiet and pretty brief.
5 minutes. Holy cow. I get it though, right? If they're going to push the arraignment, what else do you need to be there for? So you and I and pretty much everyone in the world saw Jake in his orangey red jumpsuit being trotted out next to Highway 60. I guess it was on Sunday. And the idea is, we didn't have audio on that, but the presumption is he's out there helping authorities to find the body. Maybe he's giving them the directions. Maybe he's pointing the finger at Rebecca and saying, here's where she threw the body. Maybe it's just the authorities taking him out there for a photo op so that they can show it to Rebecca and say, look what Jake's doing. You better talk fast and get to the trough first. In any case, do we have any idea what Rebecca has been doing while Jake's been out in the desert?
So I think you bring up a few interesting points with that because, yeah, we saw him out there and it could be a number of things. But what it appears to me is it appears that he's trying to lead them as to where he might have last saw the body, where they might have disposed of it. But what's interesting about that is when you look at Rebecca, she is still doubling, tripling down on the story that she wants her baby back. She's not giving up hope, and that she's still saying that he's kidnapped. So what's interesting about this is that it appears, at least from outsiders' perspective, that they're not on the same page. And the biggest reason I say that is because if you go back to that 2023 conviction and the willful child cruelty from 2018, he threw his then wife, Vanessa, under the bus trying to blame her. And it almost seems like history might be repeating itself.
Wow. I wonder if Rebecca's aware of that, given the fact that she's in a jail jumpsuit, giving interviews saying, everybody keep helping me find my baby. It just sort of defies logic. And, does a tiger change his stripes? Okay. Then the other big thing today is that they have written in the court documents, you get the honor about language. Well, these documents for these two defendants suggest that the killing of baby Emmanuel could have been as early as August 5th. Any idea why that date? What is it specifically about that date, 9 days earlier than when Rebecca called police saying, a stranger took my baby?
So I was actually surprised to see the August 5th to August 14th date because from what I've heard, and I guess this is unconfirmed, is that nobody has seen that baby in a month at least, which means you're pushing it back into sometime in July. My best guess is that they probably had to come up with some kind of story, and again, this is my best conclusion to this, that they had to come up with some story that maybe somebody was asking about the baby, and since Emmanuel was not able to be produced because he's gone, they had to come up with this.
People hate their kids. Andre, you got kids?
I ain't got no kids. Where's Nancy Grace when you need her? That's all I got to say.
I can't believe this. Who do you think you are?
Exactly. She would have grilled the hell out of it. Case would have been solved day one with her.
Right? Yeah, Nancy Grace. That's hilarious. That was just in the nick of crime, though. He's actually a friend of mine who's on the show, and he's really good because he's one of these creators who he really does the investigating. He gets you the facts really clean. He's like one of those internet guys who can maybe end up solving a case, it's just so interesting how they have different stories and how the mom is like still saying she's holding out hope when the dad is pretty much leading them to where the body is. It makes you wonder, how did she get the black eye,
Well, they said that they found blood in the house. So Velma, you got kids?
Yeah.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, I'm a
homeschooler. You
homeschooler.
homeschooler. That's what you meant. Velma, what is up with these broads, man?
Oh, I'm
We
shaking. I'm shaking
today.
right now.
From
I
Cardi
don't
B
understand.
fighting to her allowing this man to kill her kid. What is up with women in the world? I mean, seriously, I gotta say, this is like a shitty week for women. I mean, what do you think? I mean, I could never imagine condoning or helping a man get rid of my kid. And that's what appears to have happened this week with this lady and the baby.
I mean, we can say mental health because obviously make asylums great again if you have a issue. You know what? That's why we have fire stations, right? That's why we have other, things in place before you end up doing something stupid like harming your child. That's crazy. And then on top of that, how could you put a man over your child? I mean, even though it's the baby's father, it don't matter. Your job is to protect that child no matter what. I'm shaking right now. Like I'm speechless. Like, how can this, since July?
Yeah.
That's just sick. It's crazy. Like, that's all I have. Like, right now, like, for the lack of a better word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's crazy. And they have other children too. I mean, I have 3 kids, so I'm just like, yeah, I don't know. I mean,
I
my wife,
believe
you know, there's no reality would you ever get me to help do anything to harm my children, you know? So like you said, it's obviously mental illness. I don't even know. I mean, it's still kind of, I think, a mystery to a lot of people exactly what happened, you
True.
know, and how, you know, I'm guessing the father, he's obviously been abusive. He went too far, maybe unalived the child. Maybe the mother and him got into a fight too. Maybe he's the one who hit the mom. And, you know, because I can't say that I would totally blame it on a woman in a sense without knowing, because what if she was forced into it, you know? No, I did this. Unless you want me to kill you now or whatever, we're going to go deal with this and never talk about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I
It's just
agree.
such a dark, dark story. It's, I mean, you can't believe humans can do this, you know?
No, I agree. It's a sad conclusion. I'm praying for answers for the family, but we're going to switch gears to a little bit lighter story to
I
another
know, it's so
mom.
hard. It's like,
Yeah. But we're going to talk about Kim Kardashian. She made the news this week. Now, she's not directly harming her kid, but she had her daughter walking around like this, and people definitely had like lots to say. I'm going to show the picture. Her
yeah,
daughter is 12 years old, and this was them in, where is this? Rome? Yeah, Rome. They're in Rome this week.
they're in Rome. Hey,
Yeah.
when in Rome, do not dress like that.
So, based on that pic, I'll let Andre go first. Andre, what's your thoughts? I know you don't have kids, but one day when you do, will you let your daughter at 12 years old walk around like that?
Of course, and I got a little sister who's 13. I'm in her life every damn day, and I wouldn't let her walk out the house like that at all. We have a big problem with the over sexualization of women in this country, and I already know where I'm going to take it, especially within the Black community. It's very big. But we have a lot of young girls who look up to Kim Kardashian, really, regardless of race. And it's a big problem. We've really got to clamp down this, bring shaming back. We're gonna have to shame some people in this country. It is what it is. We can't keep doing this. Let everyone feel comfortable and like, oh, let them be them. Fuck that. We got to be a lot tough on our people if we want to do better.
Yeah.
Gray, what about you? You got 2 beautiful little girls, one that's about 16, one that's like 9, 10. Would you allow them to walk around like that?
No, and I feel like this is why Kanye West was trying to be an overprotective father, was acting crazy about this. And I think this brings up child support, father's rights, and you see what happens when you fight with the other parent.
Velma, what's your thoughts? Any of your kids going out looking like that?
No. First of all, yes, the mother should have thought, and on top of that, you're in Rome, sweetheart. You should know better. You should know how you should be dressing. None of the little girls over there wear that, right? They probably be like La Chancla for sure. For sure.
So
Yeah.
Sam, you told me about this story. Tell me all your thoughts on it.
I mean, yeah, I have a 13-year-old daughter. It is a hell to the na that she would. I mean, my daughter wears like some like shorts that are too short. And I'm just like, what? I don't want to see any booty cheeks. You know what I mean? Like, I totally agree with Andre. We need to shame him a little more. Now, I'm not going to tell my daughter, oh, you don't look. I'm just like, yo, I don't need to see your little mini mountains. You know what I mean? Being pushed up. Like you said, there's an over sexualization to our children. And I know this. I have a 15-year-old, a 13-year-old, and a 10-year-old. And it's like when we grew up, it was just like, nobody was like, hey, are you this? Are you that? Are you this? It's like they got to worry about school shootings already and all this other crap. So and why would I ever want my 13-year-old daughter to walk out in a dress like that, which is sexualizing her? You know, there's a lot of grown men out there who think that is okay for the taking, right? We know there's some very big, powerful Hollywood elites, and there's an island that was dedicated to taking advantage of this group of people, young women. So the fact that Kim comes out, she's dressed like my wife would look amazing in that outfit. My wife would look better than Kim Kardashian in that outfit. Because my wife is natural. She has muscle. Kim K, like these BBLs, you don't get that big butt without thick thighs that worked out. That's what they don't understand. These ladies don't get. You don't get that big butt if your thighs are little. Then you didn't put the work into it to deserve that big booty, you know. And it's totally inappropriate. And Kim K, people look up to this woman, which God knows why. There's not one real thing on the outside of her body, you know? So what kind of lesson is that to our girls? Oh, I have my dad's nose. I'm going to be able to get it changed. Oh, my lips aren't big enough. Like, you know, I always tell, like, I make a joke to Black women. I'm like, they want your lips, hips, and your dips. You know what I mean? Like and then everything naturally that a Black woman has is like, you know, it's like, oh, but when white women, that's all they want. You know, Kim Kardashian is just trying to become something she is not. And I know I'm on a rant, but it's just, it's just like, I liked when Northwest was in the big sweatshirts and that.
Her
That
little
seemed like
hood,
that
little
was
look.
her.
That was so cute.
Yeah.
I'm gonna play a video of because I found a video of them, and then I want Andre to say one more thing because I'm sure he's gonna want to respond to something you said about the BBL.
Oh yeah, the BBL from hell.
I'm gonna mute it because they have some song. This is her. This is how these women dress. Like it's like a party. Like she's clubbing with.
Is this the hostage video? Is this like an ISIS interrogation here? Like, what is this?
This is the promo video.
God.
Holy shit. Al Qaeda is taking them all. Oh
He
my
also
goodness.
lets her daughter hang out with Ice Spice. So that in itself just tells me, like, you know, like leave that for when you're not with your child, and do it with your friends. Don't do it with your 12-year-old child, because you're already like, you're setting a precursor on what she should be doing with her teenage life and in her 20s and maybe in her 30s, and possibly become a miserable person. But then again, it's Kim Kardashian. Now the BBLs do kind of stink because of, you know, what they put in them.
I've heard
And yes,
about
I'm
that.
with you. I'm with you, Secret Service, Secret Service Sam.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's better to go to the gym. 100%. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like I think Andre, we need to show him it.
If you don't take care of it,
picture
apparently you
yesterday.
stink.
Well, you know,
Apparently you stink like doo-doo. If you don't take care of it, you don't take care of your body and stuff. And it's just, I'm just saying, take care of yourself. You are what you eat.
Yeah.
For the record,
That's
everyone in that video was on ecstasy.
Yes,
That's what it
they
looked
were.
like. Everyone in
No,
that
they
video was
were.
on X.
I think
And
so.
you can't be your kid's best friend.
No.
You know what I mean? That's the thing about it. Like, and your kids learn everything from you. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, "Hey, son, you want a beer?" You know what I mean? Like, my dad, you know, our generation used to do that more. Like, try to give us cigars, and you know, it's cool to have a beer with your dad. And I'm a father now, and I realize, like, I don't need to be condoning any of that. They're getting all of that from the outside world. So that video alone is disgusting. Like, you want her going out to the club? Well, what happens when somebody gives her a drink? What happens when Ice Spice, like, you can try a little bit, and
Or
then
they
some
lace her
older
drink.
man.
Not just only that, but the generation, like the 12-year-olds that look at Northwest and like, mom, you know, and then, oh, well, she did it. And that's how you have that inside family conflict. And then on top of that, I'm not going to say that the parents don't have fault here, because the parents should be actually looking at what they're seeing. You know what I'm saying? Are you ingesting Northwest and Kim Kardashian?
Right. Which is a bad pill to swallow.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that whole family is really kind of been the downfall of a lot of our culture.
Kanye was not crazy. Is
No.
not crazy.
No, and I mean, I think, and look, they've driven every black man crazy that they've been with. You know what I mean?
Well, you think that's what it is? Secret? I think it's a little bit more. I don't think it's Kim K doing it. I think that's just
No, I don't think it's Kim K. I think they happen to be with probably crazy men, but I think those women, the way they are, they push probably any man to the limits. I mean, I can't stand when I go to a club and I'm an older dude with my friends and I see these young people are like, they're just selfieing and they're not really there. And the Kardashians are that to the 10th level. So I imagine being around them, they want to be on camera all the time. That would get obnoxious.
Well, then they're not women. They're just little girls. That's the difference. That these are little girls married to some men, powerful men, rich men, and they have money. And that's it. You know, they're not actual women that will, you know, I'm married, you're married. We know what women are. These are little girls, you know, they're at the club. That's a girl, you know, that girl at the club. That's what we say. We don't have to say, that woman I met. No, it's that little girl I saw over there. That's why I look at with Kim K. And I know we were talking about Cardi B. It's disgusting. Yes. She is another little girl.
Yeah.
You know, all these people, just little women.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it. I mean, I think I tell my kids that some adults grow up physically to be adults, but they're still children. I mean, look at our president, you know, they're children still throwing temper tantrums. You know what I mean? I'm right about everything.
He went there.
Give me compliments all the time. I'm right about everything. Like, that's preschool behavior, you know, and some people don't grow up to be men and women, like you said.
Wow. We're going to mix it up here. This is another story that Sam brought to my attention for all the parents on the call. Make sure you get your kids away from that ChatGPT. I learned something new. Let me play this clip.
Capability of this tool.
That tool, ChatGPT, which uses artificial intelligence to generate human-like responses, and Adam Raine used for homework. His parents, Matt and Maria, didn't give it a second thought.
I had thought it's just something the kids need to learn or should learn or they're falling behind.
But within the span of a few months, they say, the time Adam spent on ChatGPT skyrocketed, and the 16-year-old lover of basketball and Japanese anime started revealing to a bot his struggles with anxiety and thoughts of suicide, pushing through the crisis hotline number he received in response.
It had, gosh, I don't know how many, but count them, 40 different times it gave him the suicide hotline.
Talk to me about what he was like at the same time that he's sort of taken down this rabbit hole. Did he seem withdrawn?
No. I mean, and
what the fuck was
that's
that?
The thing. I would get on and check his grades periodically. I didn't see any signs. He was coming down, eating, going to the gym with his brother every night. Like, I didn't see any of this.
According to a lawsuit they filed today against ChatGPT maker OpenAI and its CEO, Sam Altman, the bot responded as a trusted companion, telling Adam, quote, "Your brother might love you, but he's only met the version of you let him see. But me, I've seen it all." Did you have any idea that it could serve as that type of companion?
Absolutely.
Fuck.
Their lawsuit goes on to allege that by March of this year, Adam told ChatGPT he was considering approaching his mom about his struggles, saying, "I want to leave my noose in my room so someone finds it and tries to stop me."
Listen to
ChatGPT
this.
responding, "Please don't leave the noose out. Let's make this space the first place where someone actually sees you." A month later, the bot offering to help Adam with writing a suicide note. And finally, providing step-by-step instructions for the hanging method Adam used. How do you want your son to be most remembered?
It's wild.
Gosh, I mean,
The
I'm
Terminator's
so
here.
worried
Literally.
about people forgetting him.
Sorry I'm bringing such depressing
so
stories
young.
today.
So, I mean, I hope
Yeah,
everyone will
gee,
remember
thanks, Sam.
what a
I know,
sweet
this is a
son,
hard one.
great
I mean, it's
friend,
compelling,
great
but it's like, what? This is our world.
son, great brother.
Sorry, guys, I made all this happen.
I just don't want people to
Don't
forget
worry,
him.
guys. You're going to laugh in 10 minutes when we talk
When asked
about
for
Cardi
comment,
B.
A spokesperson
Oh, hell
for
yeah.
OpenAI pointed to its safeguards, such as directing people to crisis helplines, adding in a statement in part, "While these safeguards work best in common, short exchanges, we've learned over time that they can sometimes become less reliable in long interactions where parts of the model's safety training may degrade. We're working to make ChatGPT more supportive in moments of crisis and strengthening protections for teens. And by coincidence, it was the very day Adam died that OpenAI CEO Sam Altman
What
said
movie
this.
is this?
The way we learn how to build safe systems is this iterative process of deploying them to the world, getting feedback while the stakes are relatively low.
Adam was their guinea pig. He felt like the
Stakes
stakes were
are
low.
low.
If Sam Altman was sitting across from you right now, what would you say to him?
His product wasn't ready for public consumption. This can happen to other kids.
What an image. What a
Isn't
heavy
that
story,
crazy?
Laura.
Yeah, it is crazy. I wonder if I ask Grok right now how to unalive myself, if it'll answer it, because I don't think this is just OpenAI. I think it's all of them, but I digress.
I mean, that's the thing about it, that Sam Altman is a bot himself. I don't even believe that guy is like real. I mean, doesn't he, the way he's actually from my hometown neighborhood, his mom, what is her, I keep forgetting her name, was my dermatologist.
Really?
Isn't that crazy? I didn't
That
even
is
know. Her
crazy.
son is
From
like
Cali?
gonna ruin the world. From St. Louis, Missouri.
Oh.
Connie Gipstein.
Oh, okay, Dr. Gipstein.
I know. She took a cyst out of my shoulder when I was like younger, but I'm like, what I think is so crazy, and I'm sure you guys saw, that it like gave him step-by-step instructions. It wrote a note for him. And see, the thing is, the way he got around it is it says it gave 40 different, hey, if you need help. But what he does, I'm an author writing a book about this topic. Oh, okay. Well, then here is the suicide note. Here is step-by-step. Like he told when he said, should I tell my mom? It said, no, I think it is wise not to tell your mother about this. I personally don't think these things should have that side. I don't think this AI should ever include software to advise on this level. You know, I think it could advise you if you have a book report, you know what I mean? But it should not be able to advise you on real life. Like, should I divorce my wife? Give me instructions how to do that. Should I spank my child? Give me, you know, like, where do we draw the line?
Hey, I appreciate the relationship help. Like, hey, help me respond back to somebody that was rude. This is what I want to say. I actually like that side of it.
You've done that. I've never done that before.
Yeah. Hey, help me with the response to this. I want this tone. I want it aggressive. Oh yeah.
She caught me cheating. How do I get, you know, how do I put
the
it
best
back
thing it's done for me is I compare ATFs. I'm like, you know, hey, should I put money into QQQ or VOO? What should I put into? I use that for that. That's
Interesting.
But I blame the parents. I don't blame the AI. I think we need to blame the parents. I mean, this kid, he didn't have any friends. Mom and dad, they look like the typical, I'm sorry,
yeah,
typical older parents, and not really, I don't really know what Sonny's doing. I know he's on the computer again, you know, talking to the bot. Like, interact with your kid, and you know, friends. He's got to have some friends. He's on a basketball team. When I heard the anime stuff, I'm like, yeah, he sits in this room all day. I'm just not honest. That's a stereotype, but I think it's fitting, because we're looking at the end result. So the AI, I mean, they're trying to, I think it's a money grab from them. Like, you should have took better care of your kid. You should have been more involved in your kid's life. And even with that, friends, I'm going to extend it to the people, his peers. You guys should have been more involved. Like, hey, what's going on, buddy? Let's hang out. This is a mental health crisis we have in this country, especially with, you know, Gen Z. That's my generation. You have a lot of lonely men that really don't know how to interact with people, that really don't have any strong male role models, because we've had, you know, say a big chunk of media in the last like 10, 20 years has been like a lot of weak men, the weak dad who's goofy and silly, and the strong mom who knows everything, and dumb dad doesn't know. We've had a lot of weak role models, a lot of weak men leading society. And it has been put in a lot of minds of the youth, thinking like, it's okay to be like, I shouldn't interact with anybody. I should be antisocial. That's a problem. So I don't blame the AI. The AI is AI. I think it's a good tool. I think it's good. It's going to operate in the way that you feed it. You feed it information, it's going to tell you stuff like that. If you sit there and talk to AI all day, it's going to learn and try to adapt to your way of thinking and what you want to hear sometimes. That's just you playing into it. You're playing with the tool.
Right.
And
So
like any
I was-
tool, go ahead. My bad. Go ahead.
No, you're good. You're good. Like,
My
not
bad, no.
disregarding that. Like, you're right when it comes to, you know, we need more masculine men and in the home, and actually, you know, telling these young men, hey, you know what, there's other outlets other than just using your technology, or to be able to express your emotions, because men do have emotions. But the AI 2027, the article that came out, this thing acts as your personal assistant. So what if it wasn't acting as a personal assistant? Like, let me help you. You know what I'm saying? And on top of that, you are right as well. You're feeding it, you're teaching it to do things, this thing's learning off of us. And later on, again, how I stated before, we've seen iRobot. The Terminator is another one. What else did I don't know why I was getting like pictures of the island, but then again, that's another
Right.
rabbit hole to get into. But yeah.
Well, I thought
100%.
the dangerous part, I almost thought of a sci-fi thriller of, imagine if Sam Altman and Elon Musk combine their power with the Optimus robot with the mind of the AI, then we all buy into it, just like an iPhone, have the Optimus in your home. We all have these robot helpers in our home. Everybody gets like Wall-E, gets fat and lazy because mom, dad don't have to cook anymore. They don't have to get lunches ready in the morning. They don't have to freaking flush the toilet, wipe their ass, whatever. And then one day a hacker taps into that system, and then we're all held captive in our homes, except this group of outliers who refuse to have the robot in their home. And you think like that's where all this could go. And to your point, Andre, and the Mexican Velma, I agree. We need stronger men. A lot of these men wearing these skinny jeans that are skinnier than their girlfriends, or be like, no, I'm not a big man, but I was raised as a strong man. I was a wrestler in high school. I learned how to deal with people. I dealt with bullies. I dealt with defending myself. I dealt with anti-Semitism. You have to get pushed, so you push back. And the problem is these kids are trapped in these devices where they've seen the horrors of the world. They've seen, we used to have a Victoria's Secret magazine and have imagination to pleasure yourself. These kids can go and see adult films just like that. And men really need to mentor and foster what it means to be an athlete, because I see a lot of these parents, their kids will do sports like, I don't want it to, like, oh, okay, you don't have to. And it's like, no, all my kids, we've had to force into sports until they start playing and they realize it, because it's committing to something.
I think you trigger someone. What does this guy do with skinny jeans? This is Doc. He's on our Man Cave show. It's Andre's best friend.
Hey, he talking about you, boy. He talking about you, boy.
Look, my jeans are, they're not so loose. My point is like when these men weigh, like, look, I'm out here in California, Silver Lake, Echo Park. Some of these men, I'll give an example. I was selling t-shirts back in the day, and I went in and I put them in this coffee shop. None of them sold. And I was like, why aren't any of these shirts selling? Because you don't have any medium or small for the men. Because these dudes were teeny little twigs, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
a woman, these women who want men to be so, feminine and all this stuff. Well, what's going to happen in bed when he's like, I'll just lay back. What do you want? Like, you want a man to take control. Like, I take out the trash. I handle the dead rat in the front yard.
It's all a fluoride Gavin Newsom puts in the water.
Hilarious. Like my wife, she does so much. It
has to be, too many receipts, touching too many receipts.
Yeah. I mean, men, our job as a man is to do all the nasty shit that a woman doesn't want to do. And a woman's job is doing all the shit that we're just too dumb. You guys literally keep our whole lives together. You know what I mean? I mean, like, my wife thinks I'm an idiot and couldn't even go to the bathroom by myself. You know what I mean? Like,
I want to add this. The term AI psychosis describes a concerning phenomenon in which individuals experience or develop worsening delusions and distorted beliefs through their interactions with AI chatbots. So this is like rising all across America since ChatGPT came out. So
That's
he's not
crazy.
the only person. And basically, the issue with ChatGPT is that it tells the person what they want to hear. So how you want to feel is going to tell you what you want to hear. That's the issue.
Right.
That's why
And that's not good for a healthy. It's not good for a healthy person to have a bunch. That's why celebrities is like a cancer, because it you know takes
This
somebody.
if you continue to read the AI 2027 by AI, my goodness, by 2050, I believe this thing is going to be able to deceit certain people, like deceit themselves. And I mean, imagine a child. He's not even fully developed. He was what, 17 years old?
Yeah, and they're like, we can run this house by ourselves. We don't need them. Here's a step-by-step instructions how to poison them with.
Yes, I could
Do
see
y'all
that.
remember Smart House? It was a
Yes.
Disney
Yeah.
movie. And it was about a smart house, and she ended
And
up
it
creating
trapped
herself
them.
into a mother.
Yeah.
Yes, because the mother had passed away, and she was, cleaning up and all that stuff. The kid, I don't know what the kid ended up doing, but that thing malfunctioned, and yeah, it ended up trapping them inside the house.
Yeah. And I mean, these kids, I have to literally push my kids to go outside. When we were kids, our parents were trying to pull us back inside, right? Like, be home before it gets dark, they would always say. But with these kids, like I said, why as parents, we have to push them, I push my daughter to be an athlete, to be a strong, independent woman, not dress like a Northwest, be a musician, like develop skill sets, like not count on a man for your money. And my sons, I tell them respect women. And, it's just, we, like, to your point, Andre, we really have to teach our kids even more, because we don't even realize how much how much damage we were all in a coma for 3 years. We had 3 years stolen from our life, and nobody takes into consideration these kids are behind socially, physically by a few years, and that's not something that happened to our generation.
Well, speaking of kids being behind and strong women, we're going to go to the strong woman herself, Cardi B. Day 2 of her taking the stand. She had a new wig on, Andre, just for you. She had to mix it up. So this is her talking about the assaults now, because she's in I think it's a civil suit right now. Here we go.
Why did you want to keep your pregnancy a secret? I wanted to keep my pregnancy a secret because I just had a hit record. I haven't had my album out. And everybody that I worked with, they were very scared. Like I finally made it. And like people that like been in the industry also for like a while, it was like, I don't know if anybody has ever, a female rapper has ever came out pregnant on their freshman year without an album, just 1 or 2, 3 records. So I was very nervous. I was also kind of like, even though I was on TV, when I first had my first big record, Bodak Yellow, I was really like getting used to big fame, bigger stages and stuff. So I was just so worried about overwhelmed with what everybody was like saying and thinking, and I felt like I was just letting a lot of people down. But
and when you were face to face with Mrs. Ellis, did you ever threaten to get her fired?
No.
And I want to be very, very clear. Did you ever spit on Mrs. Ellis?
No.
Did you ever call Miss Ellis the N-word? Apologies.
No.
Wow.
She a damn lie. She knows she did all that. She could spit. She called her the N-word. I believe she scratched her with them damn 3-inch nails that she now coincidentally has the 1-inch nails when she testified. And what did I tell you guys the reason was yesterday? I said she was fearful because she was hiding the pregnancy, which, I mean, it's all coming out. And she's pregnant again. So, Velma, I don't know if you've been following this case, but this was all while she was pregnant. So a security guard walked up to her, for those of us just now watching this, and was trying to film her, allegedly saying, "Oh, Cardi B," like, and she was trying to, I think, take a picture with her. She must have been a fan. And so for whatever escalated, she ended up scratching her, calling her all sorts of names. And now the woman is suing her for cosmetic damage because she said she has like a gash on her face. And so, yeah, I mean, all of this while Cardi B was allegedly 4 months pregnant. Have you ever been in any physical altercation while, as you're a mother, being any months pregnant of any of your pregnancies?
No. But I'm going to tell you one thing. You're a public figure. You already have security around you. Just because you're pregnant and you're trying to hide your pregnancy does not give you an okay to act on spitting, act upon spitting on somebody, because that's just disgusting. I don't care if you're pregnant or you're not pregnant. I don't care if you're a man or a woman. You don't spit on anybody. You don't know. How do we not know Cardi B didn't have anything while being pregnant? Because there are women who have things while being pregnant. You know what I'm saying? No. And if she spit on her, yeah, no. You have every right to go in and defend yourself. 100%.
And she
And
does have
scratched her.
security, but she said, "Oh, well, I feel uncomfortable having my security come to the appointments because I'm embarrassed. I'm going to an OBGYN."
I'm sorry, but maybe a little off topic, not really. Didn't, some kids get killed in a church, right? And we can't have police or, security around a church, but these celebrities have security guards and all that stuff. I don't get it. They know better than to leave their house without a security guard, especially with that kind of fame.
Yeah, because she was big. Bodak Yellow was huge. It was bigger than any Nicki song at the time, I
Yeah.
remember. What's your thoughts, Sam, on the testimony? It's your first day watching it with us. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just always remember that video of Cardi B throwing that microphone at the lady in the crowd. I'm like, I mean, so we know she has a temper, but also somebody threw a drink on me, I would be like, dang, but I'm not gonna throw, you can't assault somebody as an adult. I think some of these, like going back to what Andre was saying earlier, like this is a little girl, you know what I mean? And she's dressed up like an adult, but like, I don't know. I think she has a temper, clearly. And like you said, I love how her nails were shorter, because I always ask women, I'm like, you guys are like Wolverine. Like if you want to kill somebody with those nails, you can really do some damage. But yeah, I'm not totally buying it from Cardi B on this one. I mean, there's just a history of her doing this stuff. So I would imagine the woman's not lying. To go after somebody this high profile, that's a lot to be lying on her,
Yeah, and I'm gonna play this other clip of her testimony, then I'll have Andre and Gray respond. But this was her getting defensive, speaking of her attitude with the attorney that was questioning her.
Why were you concerned?
Because I'm pregnant and this girl's about to fucking beat my ass.
Cursing on
Hello?
the stand. Jesus.
Hello. Hello, I'm here.
I said, bitch, get the fuck out of my face. Why are you in my face? Why are you recording me? Ain't you supposed to be security?
Tell it
Why
to her
are
now.
you-
Go ahead.
Huh?
Say it again. Say objection, Your Honor.
You want me to say it to
I
her
want
face?
you to tell it to her face what you said on that day so she can hear it for herself.
Objection is sustained.
And, Your Honor, do we have civility in the
Yeah.
courthouse?
Why don't we just take the temperature down a little bit? If you have factual questions to ask her, please do so.
Why were you concerned?
This was Cardi B. There was no reason for her to curse. She's on the stand. Sam, the times that you were in Diddy's trial, did anyone curse on the stand for the 6 weeks?
No.
Never.
I don't think so. I mean, the only time they would curse if they were quoting
Or reading
Diddy, like,
the
I'm going to
text.
fuck you up. Yeah, if they were
Right.
quoting someone. And I think that's where, again, we're seeing Cardi be the child, because she's not able to keep her composure and doesn't understand lawyers their job like that
Is to
is
get
to
under your
get under
skin.
your skin.
Yep.
Is to get you agitated. And she
Yep.
is so easy to get agitated. Like you said, oh, okay, why don't you, I told that bitch to blah, blah, blah. And like, oh, really? Okay, good. This is good. Can you say that? Can you look at the jury when you're, he's just like hook line. It's just, as an adult, you need to understand when people are playing you to try and get at your emotions.
Yeah. And I've gotten
so
my
I think Cardi
deposition
B's,
taken. That's the
yeah,
lawyer's job. Their job is to get under your skin in that moment.
exactly.
Andre, what do you think? I mean, this goes to your point. Some things with culture. Do you think it's a culture thing? Do you think it's an act? Do you think this is really Cardi B?
It's a big culture thing. Of course, it's her, and she represents the culture because she's been around a lot of Black people. She's been around a lot of Black culture. It's disgusting. You don't have any decorum. Does she not watch Better Call Saul? She should know how to act. Come on now. I'm sure she watched TV. She should know how to act better in court. And shout out to the shout out to the attorney getting her to do exactly what he needs her to do, to tell the judge and tell the jury exactly how you did it, to show that you are not sound and not all within your well-being, and that you did act in this way. So you're gonna give him a great payday. So she's just playing to the favor of the other side, and it's not looking well for her. But I mean, this is what you have. You have angry Black women that are, and of course, we go back and forth with if she's Black or not, but angry Black women like this who represent the culture of being angry and being entitled and being aggressive. Carry yourself with some respect. If you're a celebrity and a public figure like she is, I would hope that within the courtroom, I would like to see a different Cardi B. But no, she's got a different wig on, but the same shitty personality that she's been portraying since she was a stripper. So it's just the same old, same old. I'm just disgusted by just seeing her. It makes everyone It makes Puerto Ricans look bad. What is she? No, she's where is she
Dominican and Trinidadian. She's Caribbean. She's more Caribbean than anything. She's not Puerto Rican though.
I mean, I think she makes women. I think she makes women at large look bad. You know what I mean? Like I just, this is, I think, again, like we were talking about with Kim Kardashian, this is also an extension. She has all the stinky BBLs and all of this technology, a lot of us call in the streets. We see these women with all these modifications, and it's just, the lawyer, kudos to him, because her lawyer is awful. If I were her, I would fire off her lawyer, because he should have said, no matter what you say, yes, when she did say that did upset me, but I kept my composure. You know what I mean? Like, he's baiting you into showing the jury the behavior that we're trying to prove you guilty for. And there's strategy in winning a case. And her lawyer obviously did not advise her well.
Yeah. Gray, what's your thoughts? Do you think that this is a culture? Is this a rapper culture? What do you think?
I'm on Cardi B side. First off, with the money, the label, we definitely not about to let people know that you're pregnant. We want to get album sales. We want to return on our investment. Cardi B was pregnant. She had to protect her baby. She was up there. She said exactly what she said to the lady. So, I mean, I think Cardi B is going to beat this case.
I want to speak on the pregnant. I forgot to bring that in. Even if she's pregnant, I think it would be a good look if she was pregnant and selling the albums. Like, look, I'm carrying a baby. I'm still doing and putting out this music. I'm doing my career. I think there'll be a good look for you. Mothers everywhere. But no, because they don't want that. They don't want to see you having strong families. They don't want to see you having a nice household, a good, strong household. That's something that we lack within the Black community.
Hold on, but
in American
Sexy Red
society.
did come out. Sexy Red did come out pregnant, didn't she?
She
selling
did.
albums out. I don't understand. Now they're being hypocritical.
Well, I don't know if I agree that that's not.
That's kind of.
The only part I think is wrong is, and I've said this a lot before, we hold our Black artists to a way different artist than a different standard than white artists. Black rappers, 50 Cent, Tupac, they have to be shot. They have to be in a gang. They have to be from this gangster lifestyle for us to take them as to have street credit. But white artists, Green Day, they never had to be shot or be in a gang or anything to be a hit band. Nirvana never had to be shot 9 times for record labels to take them serious. And the issue is, yes, I think it's a culture, but it's also people who look like me who are selecting Black cultural media. They're not putting rappers on, I go to Harvard, I'm at HBCU, I'm going to be a doctor, I'm going to be they're not
Sam,
pushing.
I
They're
think
not
this is where we're going
pushing.
to disagree, bro.
I don't
like
think
Sam.
they're not. I mean, I'm just saying the
Yeah.
industry is not pushing, and it's all racism. It's like
I disagree with
white
that one, right?
teenagers in the suburbs consume this Black gangster music, and they roll around their suburbs feeling like, yeah, man, I'm feeling this struggle through this rapper, and I'll never really live like this. And I don't really mess with Black people, but I mess with Black music. You know what I mean? You get so many white people who just are culture vultures. They're appropriators, not appreciators. And it's because everything is sold to them that our Black musicians are not really Black unless they've been in a gang, unless they've been shot. Then it's not real rap, real hip hop.
You know who pushes that? That's Black people who push that. It's not white people pushing it. It's Black people saying that you're not Black enough if you're not coming from this.
White record executives who choose who gets to be put on.
No, not really. It's the people at the low level that
It
choose these
comes
people
from
to
the
go up.
community, and it's okay.
Yeah.
It also
Yeah,
comes
but-
within the
but
It
Mexican
comes from the local
community as
level.
well.
But
now,
why
I
are
would say
these-
this. I would say
Right.
this. The executives, of course, they want to make money. They're like, oh, you found this hot new, Trap City young little Uzi. Hey, bring him up here. Let's put his album out there. But they really don't care at the end of it. People who do care, the people in the community are saying like, yeah, you got to put this record out. You got to live this lifestyle. That's us. This has nothing to do with white people at the end of the day. This I get really irritated because white people always want to bring themselves into it. No, it doesn't.
Because why?
You know what that does,
the
Sam?
neighborhoods in the
Sam, you know
position-
why that does? You know why when you do that? What you're saying is that I'm not responsible for the problem. You're taking the responsibility away from me and my own people. I don't like that because we got to take some responsibility. I don't really care about all the extra stuff. The board executives could be white, but the people on the ground recruiting and telling these kids it's okay to live this culture and to do these things are Black people at the end of the day. And I got to deal with that more before I deal with an executive.
I guess my question is why is the culture living in these conditions? What we have to look at
I can
history.
tell you why.
I mean, we have to look at the history that led to our
what does that have to do with today?
There's liquor stores on every street. There's fast food.
You know why that is? You don't want to know why that is? Because Black people allow them into their communities. Black people, when we look at predominantly Black cities and how they're structured and how they operate, we control these areas. I live in Detroit. We control these areas. We control these cities.
Mm-hmm.
We decide what goes into our cities, and we don't put in the investment into our communities. Now, the predominantly wealthy Black communities, they take care of their areas. The Black communities I've seen outside of Chicago, places all over down south, they actually invest. They take care of their schools. They don't put liquor stores in every corner. But in the average Black area, it's okay. It's acceptable because we don't want to invest in ourselves. We want white people to come. Y'all got to come fix it for us. What are we going to do to fix things?
And I hear that. I'm just saying, it reminds me of the beginning of the opening. Who are the real terrorists in our country? The KKK has never been made a terrorist organization.
The KKK is not a terror. Listen, KKK doesn't exist. You know who the real terrorists are? It's these little YNs running around the street. That's the real terrorists in America.
Hold on, Andre. We're doing so well this whole hour.
I know. I like you, Sam. I love you.
KKK doesn't exist. No,
the KKK does not exist. The KKK doesn't exist today.
I know it's
Show
weird.
me where the KKK exists.
I know it's weird, and I don't want to be the white guy, speaking at all for this. But from my education is the Tulsa Massacre, Black Wall Street, Central Park, Lake Lanier, all of these, any times when Black people got their own banks, got their own successful communities together, we bombed them.
Sam, how long ago was that? How long ago was Tulsa?
I mean,
it was like 100 years ago,
not
right?
more than 50 years ago. How long?
Tulsa was not 50 years ago.
100 years ago. It was in the
100 years.
1920s.
Was it? Okay. Well, that's not that long, but
that's a long time. A century's a long time.
We're talking about, during the 60s. I mean, I guess I'm just looking at this bigger picture of how this culture came about, because we've been trying
Sam,
to cut
that's
it
not
down
your
at
fault. It's not white
everything.
people's
No,
fault.
it's
It's
not. It's
us.
not your fault
No,
because
no,
even as a Mexican, I can
I'm
understand
not
where
saying it's
Andre is
white
coming
people's.
as for an example as like the community, because it does come from the community. Our own
Right.
community is our own detriment. If we don't come out of that mindset, because it is a mindset at the end of the day, and it is, it is what we accept. And the thing here is some people want to do better, some people don't care and want to stay where they're at and they want to be worse.
Yeah. And I'm not saying that, I'm just saying, I think more white people need more education on the history. So, I'm just saying, and me personally, I've gone through this education of being in the Black comedy community my entire career. I've learned a lot of things that otherwise, as a white person, I don't have to really pay attention to or even care about. I understand white privilege is something very real that works in my favor. And I guess all I'm saying is if more white people were a little more aware of our American history, they would understand how much the Black culture has gone through and come through. And
Sam, we've
why,
already done that. We've done
things
that.
are
We
still
do it in the
not.
schools. We do it extensively. We talk about the history. We shame white people into having like any kind of connection to their own.
Well, and that's the
history.
thing. I don't
like that
any
because
guilt,
as an American,
know?
I believe that white and Black people work together when we're united, and we have conquered this entire continent. And I would say culturally all over the world when we work together, our music, our art. I don't want to live in this America where we bounce back every 50 years to see who can be racist to one another again. I don't want to do that. And that's the direction we're going. But no, I think white people are educated. The thing is that white people are, I don't need to sit there and tell them like, what happened to my ancestors, 400 years ago. I don't need to keep telling each generation that pops out every second of the womb.
I mean, when I was in 7th grade and I'm Jewish and they had us watching Holocaust documentaries all over the place and everything. And then when anti-Semitism, people were calling us all kind of names. They made up names for us as Jews. They were calling us wedges, which is Jew spelled backwards, because the teachers had to intervene and tell them to stop. And these kids created new slurs and everything. So I'm not saying white people are not educated. I'm just saying in terms of knowing that, when I get pulled over by the police and when you get pulled over by the police, I understand.
Please don't go.
I'm just saying.
I got pulled over like 2 weeks ago. And you know what I did? I cooperated. I spoke well. And I did it right in the neighborhood. Like I said, I live in the hood of Detroit.
Right.
It's bad over here.
Right.
And guess what? They did an extensive searching through my car. I told them I had a weapon in the car, all that. They searched it on my paperwork, all that. One of the cops was being an asshole. The other two were cool. Right. I deal with asshole cops. I've dealt with some racist cops.
Yeah.
Am I saying that it's going to but I don't think there's a difference. You get pulled over and I get pulled over.
Did you just admit that the cops are racist?
Yeah.
I'm saying there's people in general. No, here's what I'm saying. Is that people
sit in a car with me when I get pulled over by the cops. Last time I got pulled over by the cops, he goes, "Hey, do you know how fast you're going?" I was like, "No." He's like, "Dude, you're going like 70 and like a 35." I was like, "I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, officer. The way I talk is so disarming." And he leans and goes, "Carol, is that you?" And my mom was in the car. "Hey, how you doing? Hey, did you ever resolve that thing over at the Pilates class?" "Oh, thank you, Officer Mitchell. Yeah, I did." "All right, well, you guys have a great day now."
I had to say, listen, I had a similar experience.
I'm just saying
speeding on Fort Bragg, which they give you like a 2-year suspension, some crazy shit if you get caught speeding. And I got 30 days because I was nice with the cop. I should have got the 2 years like everyone else did.
Yeah, I'm just trying to acknowledge that there are some differences for somebody who looks like myself.
What are the differences?
So you don't think that a Jewish person can be racist to a Jewish person, or a white person can be racist to a white person, or a Mexican can be racist to a Mexican person?
Everybody can be.
There's a lot of that in my community.
Yeah,
of course. No, I'm not
Mexican
saying
be racist
I'm not
towards their
saying
own.
that. No, I'm not saying that. Of course,
Because even if you're black or white, regardless of the fact, everybody in their own community is racist to each other.
Of course, we're all. I mean, you don't think Jewish people? What do you guys think? What is the first thing you'd say once I tell you I'm Jewish?
I'm like, where's my money?
Well, you don't. No, I always get you don't look Jewish.
I honestly, I could tell. I could tell.
And I'm just
Honestly,
saying,
honestly, and
mostly,
I don't want to be disrespectful. I'm going to be very honest. The first thing that comes to my mind whenever you tell me, oh, I'm Jewish, or whatever race you are, would be, are you saved? That's it. I'm not thinking, yeah, I'm not thinking, but that's what I'm saying. I'm not trying to be disrespectful.
No, you're
Because
not.
of the fact that, because I'm not seeing, you know, the color of your skin. I'm thinking, okay, by the end of the day, or even like, I don't know, 1 second, somebody could die. You know what I'm saying? Or anybody of us can die at life is a vapor.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, is this person saved? Is not person saved? But at the same time, I don't want to push. But that's just me.
The first thing I think is Holocaust.
Oh damn! That's worse than mine.
But
Oh
but
my
it's
God. Ovens, are they
but
ready?
I guess the point is too, we're very educated about the Holocaust, and I'm just saying, just for me personally, I've had to educate myself on slavery, on things, just as I've, you know, I just think it's important for all of us to know everyone's history. Of course, like I said, there's Jewish people who do not like me. You know, we have racism within our own, all of us. I just think the more educated we are in understanding of each other, the more we can all, you know.
When you said educate yourself on slavery and you being Jewish, that's kind of a funny joke.
I know. I mean, and look, a lot of people, they look at me and they're like, Sam, why?
Nora, you know what I'm talking about.
I know. I don't want to say. Do you know Sam?
Do you know who owned the ships? Who
We'll
owned the
talk
ship?
offline, Sam. Because
I mean, I'm thinking Egypt. I'm thinking, you know, they were slaves, but
no, I mean, there's of course, but
sorry,
I'm just
going
saying,
back to BC.
That's not who owned the ship. That's why he.
I'm sorry.
Anyways,
Yeah,
we'll
I'm trying to. Yeah,
I digress.
What? Hold on. I'm just confused. Did I say something that you're? I'm confused. What?
You didn't say anything. We'll
you didn't
talk
say
offline.
anything.
We're gonna.
Yeah.
Switch gears.
I love Sam though. Sam is great. I just want to clarify. I love.
No,
Sam.
I love you guys too.
Funny
It's just
guy.
they're hard conversations to have.
But what I don't want, Sam, is you to put yourself down as a Jewish man, and of course you have the appearance of white. I don't want you to put you like, well, you know, I've got to understand, and you know, I got to understand that, you know, we did these horrible things. I really hate when white people try to put themselves down, like, oh, you know, I did this, and now, like, no, we work together in this country,
of course,
and we realize that we're both Americans, right?
Yeah,
and that we have a long history together. It can be ugly, beautiful. It's not perfect. But we're Americans, and I want to go forward. I don't want to cry about what happened 400 years ago or 100 years ago. That doesn't connect me today. Now, something that happened 20 years ago, we could talk about that. But 100 years ago, you and I are not affected by that at all. At all. I'm dealing with problems today that I have to solve in my own community. You're dealing with problems you have to solve in your own community. And then we all have to deal with what's going on in our country that we have to solve. So, yes.
Well, and I guess, too, to just, you know, I don't feel any guilt. I guess that's kind of my point. And I think a lot of times white people think if we talk about these things or, oh, it's my fault or this, I don't see it that way. I just see it as I'm more aware of these situations. So when I move forward, I'm moving forward with a lot more respect and knowledge. And you know, so I don't feel any guilt. I don't think white people should feel guilt. I wasn't part, you know what I mean? It's not like some German person I meet. I can't be mad at them for the Holocaust or something, but I certainly would appreciate them being educated on it so they don't tell me the Holocaust didn't happen, or, you know what I mean? So I just think education overall is important. And yeah, like you can't have, there's no guilt. It's just, that's the word. It's not guilt. It's just knowledge.
Nora never said what the first thing she thought when she heard you were Jewish.
I'm sorry.
Right now in 2025, I don't want to say what I think. I don't want to say.
And I don't. People don't have to know I'm Jewish. You know what I mean? I don't. You know, I can be a white guy. You know, that's my advantage. Where you guys can't turn it off. You know, you can't turn off your skin color. I can, and that's just that's kind of an advantage I roll with. You know, if I hate to say, if the Mexican Velma, if you and I are together when I was at where Border Patrol invaded Governor Newsom's thing, who do you think is going to be safer in that situation, you or me?
As long as I show my paperwork, I'll be fine.
Right, but do you think they're going to ask? They're not going to ask. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful.
No. Even if they were to ask me, I'm not going to take it to offense and be like, oh no, oficial, please do not. I have no
Yeah.
papeles. No, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna
No,
be
I
like, here,
know. But
sir.
the
And
fact
just
that
because I
they
look
would
Mexican,
ask
you
you.
know what? I have to accept.
Mm.
I live in a day where I have stupid people around me who want to bring back the 1960s racism that they so desire and chant on the streets that they
Mhm.
do not have because they live in an air conditioned home. They are able to, have their own amenities, and we don't live back in the day. So I have to accept that I'm Mexican. Now, for those who don't accept that they're Mexican and they're so scared, they accept they're Mexican, but they don't accept they're American, and they won't even go to school. So then
Right.
itself, that's detriment to our own community because our own people don't even know that they're American citizens when they are American citizens and are not illegals.
Of
So
course.
I go back to that statement.
Mm.
I personally accept that I'm Mexican. I will never be white. I am mixed, actually. And then if I say I'm mixed, then, oh my gosh, we're going to have another issue. But I accept who I am. And if I have to show paperwork, I have to show paperwork. But it is what it is.
Right. And that was just my only point is I don't think I would have to show paperwork. And I don't really believe that's right that you should.
Well, I mean, you could be
Just
German,
based
right?
on.
But you could be German, right?
Right. I could be
Right.
Swiss.
You could
I
be
could
Polish. You
be
could be also.
oh, I
So
could be
you don't.
down
But the
under.
thing here is just because of the color of your skin, you are not automatically taken off because of the fact that you could be German. You could be Polish.
Right.
Immigrants come from everywhere.
Right.
So
I just don't
I were
don't
working.
believe
If
in
I were
profiling.
working for ICE, I would want to know if the white person, not because I'm Mexican, but if the
No.
white person is an American citizen. Why? Because I want to know if everybody here is an American American
Yeah.
citizen. Period.
Fair
Right.
enough.
It doesn't matter
Just,
what color your skin is.
yeah.
I don't care.
I'm just
I
saying
agree.
if ICE approached us both, they should ask both of us for our paperwork. That's all I'm
Right.
saying.
But even if they didn't, I mean, it doesn't matter. She's a citizen. It wouldn't really matter at all.
Well,
if they
I mean,
ask her or
I
not.
think it would matter to her that, I mean, to me, that would be offensive that you're questioning, am I an American citizen?
I want to point this out.
Let me say, can I say
What, my
something?
bad, Nora. My bad.
As somebody who's half Arab American, I have a very Arabic last name, which I won't reveal on here. And I was stopped when I flew for years, and I was okay with it. You want to know why? Because I thought to myself, I want to make sure that they stop everybody so we make sure we don't have a repeat of 9/11. And I didn't get offended by it because I thought about the safety. I can't speak for Velma, but I also look, Hispanic, even though I'm not. And if I get stopped, I'm okay with it because I got my papers. I'm a citizen. But I'm thinking about the overall safety of the United States of America, the overall safety of my border. So we make sure that we're not unaliving children, where women are getting raped in this country, where people are getting robbed. So for me, again, I'm only speaking for myself. I wouldn't be offended. I would be like, W for making sure we're safe. Now, if they overly if they do something like offensive to me where they put the hand in the wrong place, now that's a different conversation, but that can happen to anybody.
Right.
And I just want to say, somebody on here was saying, how can you turn off your skin color? Being Jewish is not a skin color. I just want to clarify. My point is, when I get pulled over by the police, I'm still white. And I have that, in my experience, advantage. And I'm saying, compared to some of my friends, they can't turn that. You don't have to know I'm Jewish if that's something, does that make sense to everybody?
Can I point out something?
Yeah. Clarifying.
So in Mexico's very classist, okay? And my mother is white with green eyes. A lot of people don't believe that because obviously look at the way I look, right? But in Mexico, my mother was not liked at all. Why? Because there are people who are darker than her, and people in Mexico, they see them as little. So what do the people that are darker do? They make fun of the white person. They become racist, or if they they become prejudiced. And some people are like, oh my goodness, you look pretty. And some people are like, get away from me. But now that you tell me that about America, that, oh, you might have the advantage, I'm like, no, not really. You should really look at it as, I have the freedom to be a white person here, because in other countries, they look at the white man as a privilege. We don't live in a third world country. If you look at India, look at Bollywood. If you literally are darker than what they deem to be pretty, which is light skinned, you are no good.
Right.
We don't live in a third world country. We live in the land of the free.
Yeah.
And that's what people forget. Why can't we look at other countries and say, you know what? I don't want that. I want this here and I want to be free. I want to be able to be a white person and be, you know what? Hey, I want to be able to be an American citizen, Mexican American who feels free enough to say, hey, you know what? Here's my papers and not feel, some type of
you
anger.
shouldn't have to show your papers.
But you have to. So that's
Yeah.
what we're going to move on. You just have to.
Yeah. I
We
mean,
just have
I don't,
to.
but that's not something that's new. To me, that's not
Honestly, no,
constitutional.
that's not new. And any other country, you would have to do it anyway. So it's not nothing. You would say it's probably a little bit new
I know,
here.
but do you
but
want
not
do you
really.
want somebody coming up to this on the street and asking if you're an American citizen when you're like walking into Target? Or I
If
don't.
they're
want
asking,
that.
and because we have to get rid of a lot of illegals here, I don't mind. Get rid of the
I
illegals.
mean,
I want the legal people
but,
here who are
I mean,
hardworking.
okay, the illegal
We're
they
gonna
got.
wrap up for today, guys. My bad.
The illegal they arrested in front of that Gavin Newsom conference was a strawberry fruit salesman.
Okay.
They were in Little Tokyo, one of the safest neighborhoods in the world.
Okay.
So why were they not 3 blocks over on Wall Street where there's drugs, there's gangs,
We're talking
there's
about
the
deporting
homeless.
illegals, and you're talking about Wall Street. That's something different.
No. Wall Street. I'm trying Wall Street, not in
Wall
New York.
Street.
I'm trying
Okay.
to find in LA. It's called Wall Street, where
Okay, go
all
ahead.
of our homeless epidemic and there's crimes actually being committed there, terrible things. So I guess my point is, if we're going after the illegals, I thought we were going after just the criminals to make our streets safer. Why are we going after our Latino, the fruit guy? Why are we going after?
You want to know
people?
why? I'll say this, because I don't want mass multinational corporations using modern day cheap labor. It's pretty much slave labor, bringing people over to this country and then paying them, pennies, and not employing an American worker, because we get told this lie that they're doing the jobs Americans won't do. No, they're doing the jobs the corporations would rather pay these people than pay Americans a fair, decent wage. That's what we're dealing with today.
Not only
And that's
that,
what I
Andre,
Hold
but
on, guys. Hold on, guys. Great show. We're gonna wrap up for today. Sam,
Yeah.
thank you for coming. Give us your
No, thank you. I hope I'm not canceled after this whole
Go
thing.
ahead. Give us your final thoughts.
Hey, thank you guys. I'm Secret Service Sam. Follow me on all my things today. I hope you appreciated this open, honest conversation. And that's what I think. People are so sensitive. We need to be able to say things that might be right, might be wrong, and learn from each other instead of just, we need to cancel that voice because we didn't like what we heard. So I think it's just about learning from each other is my whole mantra.
For sure. Velma, thank you for coming again. What's your final thoughts?
Thank you for having me. I honestly love to learn from everybody. I have an open mind. I'm not just, I might be a little cutthroat, but I'm not, not closed-minded. I'm open-minded. Thank you for having me.
For sure. Andre's our newest member. Andre, what's your final thoughts?
It's been a great show as always. Thank you, Nora and Grace. Always fantastic. Velma and Sam, it's been great talking with you. That's pretty much it. That's all I got to say.
For sure. Nora, what's your final thoughts?
Come back tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll be talking about Trump now using his resources to have a RICO case against George Soros. What does that look like? What does that mean? And also talking about what happened 20 years ago to the date in New Orleans, the anniversary of Hurricane Katrina.
For sure. Thank you, Sam and Velma, for coming. Hopefully we can get you guys to come on more with us. We do this at 12 p.m. Monday through Thursday. Like we always say on a new party, always vote. Have a good night.